Hello there, how are ya? Welcome back to How I Did It. Today's video will show the off-grid backup generator and the water filtration system in the off-grid barn utility shed. Okay, this is a simple look at my solar/wind system. It started out real small and it's slowly growing. This is my inverter, and the wires in the front, they go up to my breaker box, and the wires in the back, they go underground through conduit. Now we dug the hole, or the trench I should say, for the conduit, for the electrical, the PEX pipe for the water, and for the PVC for the water collection gutter system for rain collection. Alright, and the wires go underground through the conduit, and they come in here, put on this simple adapter to plug right into the generator, and that's what back feeds into the inverter. Alright, so on the generator we pulled off the spark arrestor, pulled this set screw out, and then went up to O'Reilly's and bought this 2-inch flexible exhaust hose. Now this adapter right here we took and ordered everyexhaustpart.com, or we ordered it from everyexhaustpart.com. It starts out at 3/4 inch right there at that set screw, and it goes up to the 2-inch size for the flexible pipe. This way it can be vented out the side of the shed. So say you're not there, you don't have your shed open where somebody can just, maybe walk on property and just see what you have. Or if you have a storm, this will keep it out of the weather and the rain. The 2-inch conduit just goes right through the wall of the easy shed and vents just like your car exhaust would vent out the back of your car. Now the one issue that I was concerned with when I did this, I cut the hole, with the 2-inch hole saw, so it's just a smidge bigger, and it may end up rubbing and creating a vibration sound. Time will tell. So far so good. It's actually worked really well. Alright, and here's just a little sound of it. And I didn't deaden the sound on this at all. The sound you're hearing is me standing in front of it with the camera. Now here is with the door closed and using that spray foam. Now in that video I did on that, if you might be interested in doing something like this, you can check out my list of videos. This is probably 40 feet away from the shed. This is actually right at the opening to the barn. That audio right there is when I was out there filming that day. Okay, so when my wind is not working and my solar is not working, that's where the backup generator comes into play. I can use that to recharge my batteries and to run all the appliances in my off-grid barn and in my RV that I'm actually living in out here. Okay, here is my water setup. Now my water setup comes all from rain collection, and it's simply hooked up right now by a hose and a 1/4 turn ball valve like you would have on the spigot on the side of your house. Goes around the base right here, and it'll go in through the wall on the shed. Because I'm going to get more of these holding tanks, I want to hold off on putting my permanent PEX line underground from my actual water source into the shed. That way I'll be able to organize it better, I guess. So it comes in here, it has a shut off. It goes up to the first carbon filter that will grab any large particulate, bacteria, whatever that may be in the water. Goes through the pump. Now this is an old pump. You'll see in a little while I changed out to a different pump, and then I also added a second filter. So it goes through the filters, comes down here, goes around, and then back out the shed. Now the one that goes straight out is for the water spigot at the beginning shot of the video, and the other one that goes down is the one that is my PEX line buried underground that actually feeds water into the off-grid barn. We just did an outside shut-off, just redundancy maybe, but just as a safety. Can't have too many shut-offs, and it's easy enough to go back and turn them on. So this is just kind of a layout of the added things that I'm putting on the filtration system. So the first filter is a carbon filter. The second filter is a carbon block filter. Now the carbon filter is 40 microns. This carbon block filter it'll filter up to 5 microns. And then I have a 40 micron, just a white particulate type filter. What you want to do is where your lines come into your pump, you want it to be flexible. So this hose is just like your hose or a section of hose that you would use to fill your RV. So it's food grade, basically flexible, so as your pump is running, you know, it's not wearing hard on where your fittings go on. Definitely want to pay attention to the in and the out, make sure everything's going the right direction, hand tighten everything. I can't stress enough to go ahead and add a little bit extra Teflon tape to these fittings, or you will be going back, taking it apart, yes, this is experience talking, and putting more of the doggone Teflon tape on there. And again, you're just doing this hand tight. You don't want to tighten it down too hard that you end up breaking one of your parts. And so if you take the tops to your filters and you assemble everything prior to mounting them on the wall, it will make things so much easier. Now my PEX pipe, I ordered from online. A lot of my fittings I ordered from online, and then there's a lot of them that I picked up where I didn't have the right one, or I changed the design or whatever. So I went back to the big box store and bought it, or I went up to Ace and picked one up at Ace. The crimping tool works absolutely fantastic. Definitely will give you a workout. Maybe I'm just a wimp, I don't know, but you kind of pinch it down and get it set where you want it, and then you go back and finish crimping it down on. And when I say set, it's just a slight little crimp on it to where it just snugs it around that pipe. So here, just got it a little bit, see how I got it a little snug? And now I'm going to actually crimp it. I just wanted to make sure I had the right distance from the fitting and so on. Now here we're getting ready to set both of those filters up onto the actual main PEX line, and if you'll notice, you know, quite a bit of Teflon tape. I'd say probably 10 to 12 wraps is what I put on here. I don't know if it's DuPont or what, but you know, when you do your normal 3 or 4 Teflon tape wraps, I just ended up with leaks. So yeah, just experiment. You know, worst case scenarios, you have to take it apart and start over. Alright, here we got it all pretty much in place, got everything lined up, they're pointing the same directions. Now I'm just going to put the hanging brackets back on. It's easier to work with these hanging brackets off. Wasn't necessary to use the power driver drill there. It was just, don't over tighten it, you'll end up being bummed out. Alright, so now we're going to get it attached here to the wall. It's pretty level. I didn't throw a true level on it, I just kind of eyeballed it. 4 screws to simply hold it in place, and this plywood's actually bolted on because these walls on this easy shed, there was no real bracket or any wall supports to attach it to. Now here's where you'll see I'm changing out the pump. The other pump was okay. It was 3.5 gallons a minute. This is 4.5 gallons a minute at 30 psi. This is a C-Flow. The guy that I buy these from, I have one in my RV. He is just fantastic. He stands behind his product. This is an MPPT solar charger because I have a solar panel on the roof that is servicing the battery that services this pump. And the first one, I put it in and smelled smoke and touched it, and it was hot. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I took it apart. Got the second one out. I ordered two thinking the range shed would get a solar setup as well, and yeah, no, we don't recommend that at all. And the second one, the digital on it is messed up. You notice it's showing 13 and then it goes to 3 volts. Alright, this is my battery system that I use. These are sealed. These are the LiFePO 4 batteries. Don't have to worry about the sparks from the generator causing them to explode. And here is the water filtration system all set up and working fantastic. As a matter of fact, I finished doing this video. I ended up doing a load of laundry. Well, that's it. We'll see y'all next week for a new episode of How I Did It. Thanks for stopping by. Have a blessed day.